Hello everyone and welcome to the course. This is a brief video to explain my weekly office hours, which will be held on Sundays from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. That's the first slot, and the second will start at noon Eastern, again for an hour. The aims of this session are threefold. First one is to support you academically. There's a real purpose for me holding the office hour on Sundays because that's often or almost always when your assignments are due, so you may need to pop in and ask a question or talk through a response, etc. Really anything to support you academically, any questions you have, not just for assignments. The second aim is to support you personally. You may just want to ask a question about how to manage your time or any other thing that's going on in your life personally that you want to share. Well, not anything, of course, but yeah, I digress. Third point is to learn from you. For me, it's a real honor to be your instructor or your teaching assistant. And yeah, I just know I'm going to be learning from you and your contribution as well. All right. Some basic rules for joining a Zoom session or any synchronous video session with me is that you need to have your video on and your audio mute until you need to contribute or if you have a question. And for that purpose, to ensure that you're able to focus on the conversation, please don't use the chat function for anything other than to alert me or your peers to a problem. Generally a technical problem. Let's say you can't work your audio or your video is not working, but you want to let us know that you're still there, then use the chat function. But otherwise, all of your focus should be on what's going on the screen, and you should be listening, of course. To that end, it's just to reinforce that your engagement should be active. It's not a good idea to have other screens going or other things going on around you in which you're engaged. If you're in the session, please do try to focus on what your peers are saying and what I'm sharing with you. And part of that engagement and part of being part of a member of a doctoral community is that you should remove these two prompts or sentence starters from your vocabulary. There is no dumb question. The only dumb question is the one that does not get asked. So please don't think that any of your questions are dumb. And the second is, yes, you will be covering a great deal of material and you may forget some. And you may be part of a Zoom session in which someone shares something and you forget it for whatever reason. So don't worry about asking us to repeat content or to remind you of certain key points. Okay? Now, the plan for my office hours are first to field your questions. So that means that you don't have to attend the entire session. If you just have a burning question, come to the beginning of the session and share it, and we'll cover it. So after that, you're welcome to leave the session if there's nothing else for you to stick around for. Don't worry about having to stay for the whole hour. After I field your questions, I'm going to be sharing any timely tips that are important to you as a student that helped me at the time as a student, and these may be technology related or something related to non-academic elements of the course. When those come up, I will try to record them. If I'm not able to record them, I'll put them in a message and an announcement if I think that they're useful. That's thunder, by the way, that you hear. For today, I'm going to cover some general introductory Blackboard tips and show you, how I used to prepare for the discussion posts. Those are just two techie hacks that I'm going to talk about in today's session. And just to remind you, over on the right of the screen, it's best to reach me by email. However, if you prefer to use your phone, don't send a text message. I'm in Canada. You'll incur international fees. So instead, please use the app WhatsApp and add me to your contacts. And there's my number on the screen. Or third, please do ask a question in Blackboard. It's likely a question everyone will benefit from. So don't hesitate to use the different forums in Blackboard to pose your questions, and I will be monitoring those, of course, and can answer you there too. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks for listening.